area. Can he get the shots away? He now has the opportunity. He should get the shots away. He does get the shots away.
And now it's Fitzmartin with a chance to. He's done it.
Play. We could have had about 3 or 4, more in terms of the chances, but they'll, it's not a case of rolling Jay Fitz out every single week and hopefully he's going to produce. There's a lot of work.
Everyone knows that all I want to do is score and assist, and I was getting frustrated.
When you're attacking that end and you hear the crowd chanting and stuff like that, it just gives it like a little edge.
So Renault, that was a pleasing game. The heat was oppressive, and to get that early goal made all the difference into.
I thought we were excellent from start to finish, and you've got to credit Bradford in that for having a really good, game plan. Then when we scored early, great to see Jay Fitz. He's had his down moments this season. He's been beating himself up. He got the MOM last week, and you've seen that what's done to his confidence. His first goal was excellent, set us off. And then Bradford had, a really good spell. I think they had 8 corners in about 25 minutes. But credit to, the back line, the zonal marking. We marshalled it well. We managed it really well. And then we knew that we had to, soak up a number of set pieces. We know there were a threat on that. We talked about that on Thursday night. And then, we broke away just before the half, and Jay goes and gets his second. Makes the team talk a little bit easier. We get in at half time. We said the most important thing is now he's managing the game, defending our zonal mark the way we do. And then hopefully on the counter attack, break away with the pace that we've got. And I think, looking at the balance of play, we could have had about 3 or 4, more in terms of the chances. But they'll be grieved as well. They'll think they should have had a penalty and maybe a handball. But the important thing was to us, Tim, is carry on our unbeaten record at home this season, get 3 points, and look forward to the FA Cup weekend next week.
Yeah, obviously you mentioned the 2 goals from Jay. There was a difference this week in he was calm. You could see he basically wasn't rushing it. He had enough pace on it to basically keep it live. But basically he wasn't sort of blasting it over the bar. Very cold finishes, weren't they?
The things that people don't see, talk about all the time, you see it in the dressing room. It's not a case of rolling Jay Fitz out every single week and hopefully he's going to produce. There's a lot of work that goes on off the field. Conversations, arm around him, talking one-on-one information from myself, Brian, Mike, Callum, whoever it will be. Stay positive, game will open up. Today we deployed him in the 10 role. We knew centrally he'd do really well. And he got 2 goals and, hopefully that kick-starts Jay. We didn't have to kick-start this season because he's been unbelievable. His work rate, his tenacity, his skill levels have been great. But as a goal scorer, you want to score goals. And, now he scored them 2 today. He'll be delighted. And I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, and like I say, as I mentioned to Jay before, just the way we play was ideal for that temperature with Elite. It wasn't it that ball, basic possession.
I thought we moved the ball superbly well again today. Our passing, our rotations, our electric pace going from the middle of the field to the top end of the pitch is so good, and allowing then Pav and Guy to get out. But special mention to Charlie Oliver and Curtis Jones and Pat Boys in behind. I thought the way they marshalled, up against a good front line. Pat came and punched when he had to do, came and collected, kicked really well. Curtis Jones and Charlie Oliver was way above any performance I've seen from any defender this season, and that bodes well. CJ struggled to get his rhythm in pre-season, because he had obviously the baby, and congratulations on the moving house, the new business, and a couple of injuries, and then he didn't start the season. But Curtis Jones, I say it time and again, there's when you've got Curtis Jones on your side and Charlie Oliver on your side, you're licking your lips and going wow, and then you're looking around over the bench, you've got Jan Palinkas coming on, but you've got to credit the back line, because in an attacking performance sometimes they don't get the credit they deserve. But to defend 13 corners today and be comfortable with our zone, Curtis picking up number 4 at the back and Charlie Oliver at number 2 between 1 and 3 in the defensive zone. They're getting an understanding now, but not just the way they defended. I thought the way they moved the ball and stepped into play. So till lads at half time, I don't think Charlie Oliver wasted the ball all game, all half. So it's pleasing, and then you can let the attacking lads go and get the limelight, and Guy and Pav and Griffin Deck, who I thought were great, and then as a front 4, my favourite word, mesmeric, we were really, really good. And, when Keno tired and when Nick tired, I can throw on Keegan. I can go and throw on Maxi, who knew the scores at the end. The house would have come down. And then great to get Jan some minutes instead of Pav, because Pav's been excellent. So, all in all, Tim, really good performance against an informed Bradford side. Can't take anything for granted. The results have kind of gone against us today. I think all the top 6 or 7 have won today, but for us it means we can go into the FA Cup weekend now ideally placed. It's 5 on the spin at home, lots of confidence, but going into a really tough encounter now against Michael Clegg's Warrington Rylands.
Yeah, and you'd imagine cooler conditions this time next week.
Hopefully, I think the rain's due, but I was critical last week, but credit the ground staff today. The pitch was watered, pitch moved really well. You could see, people slipping in the first 5 or 6 minutes. That's good, but then we got used to the way the pitch played, and it's good. You want, as an attacking football team who moves the ball quickly, you want that. And for me, I'm just delighted with the overall performance.
Yeah, well, congratulations. It was a good, calm end to a game.
And please, if you're watching this interview now, get right behind us next Saturday. Come and rock out Broadhurst Park. I know we had 1,040 on for the last FA Cup game. There was 1,700 on today. I know season tickets don't count, but if you can dig deep and get behind this group, they love the support levels. And when the main stand paddock and the SMR are in full voice, there's nothing better. So please save your money this week and come and support the boys next Saturday.
Congratulations, Jay. Second week in a row, you're the Joseph Holt's man of the match, as chosen by HSG Global. 2 goals in the first half really put that game to bed, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. I thought once you get an early goal, it always helps because the team's put on the back foot there. But I thought when we did score, we dropped off a bit when we shouldn't have. And then thankfully we got a second goal and it just killed them off, so we could play our way and then see the game out, really.
Yeah, I mean, that early goal, in that heat, the last thing you want to be doing is chasing the game, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think in the heat, all we want to do is keep the ball, because even in the warm-up when we're doing possession drills, we're blowing when we're not having the ball. So we knew if we can keep it and they're chasing, we're only going to break them down. I think we're one of the fittest teams in the league, if not the fittest. And the way we play suits us on this ground. We haven't lost yet.
Yeah, obviously we play a possession-based game, which, obviously when you're winning, in that heat is such an advantage. In terms of your sort of personal performance as well, I know obviously last week an assist, get a man of the match, great performance. Again, another great performance. I think it was noted a bit more coolness this week ironically in the heat, a bit more coolness in your finishing.
Yeah, I think that was missing, to be fair, the composure. Everyone knows that all I want to do is score and assist. And I was getting frustrated, but I've got a gaffer behind me, I've got the staff behind me, the players behind me, and then thankfully it's ticking. I've been brought in here to score goals, and thankfully I've got 2 today. Yeah,
the first one in particular, basically you took it and then you brought it onto you were cutting inside basically, because I think it was a 5-on-3 attack at that moment, that phase. You had plenty of options, but basically you were pretty single-mindedly sort of cutting in, just getting onto your right foot.
Well, I wouldn't have had that space if they weren't making the runs, and that's what we do. We try to attack in numbers. You've got Guy and Pav flying on, you had El, you had Nick, and then opened the space up for me. Nick did great for the second goal as well. I know he got taken out, but it opened the space for me, and thankfully I scored another. Yeah. We knew we could score goals. We should have had more, to be honest with you, but 2 goals and 3 points, all you can ask for, really.
Yeah, it's a result, and basically it was a nice, I was saying to people around me, it's nice to finish a game feeling quite calm.
Yeah.
Basically it felt like we basically had control of the game, and we saw it out at 2-0.
Yeah, you always felt like Ban Alswick, maybe they could get us on the break, because that was the type of team there was to sit back in, but we've shown that we can score goals. It's also a clean sheet as well. If you don't win a game, you don't lose a game, and the fact four was superb again. Another win, and then we can fly into the FA Cup and hopefully get another win.
Yeah, it's basically that home record is intact, and thanks to you with 2 goals today. So congratulations once again.
Thanks,
Joseph Holt, man of the match, as chosen by HSG Global. Thank you. So Charlie, clean sheet, always pleasing for defence.
Yeah, definitely, especially in the heat today. It was a real tough ask, but I thought the back 4, the 2 in front as well, and Pat behind, we communicated well and saw out the game. So could have grabbed another one at the end to make things life a little bit easier, but we didn't. But held out, clean sheet, and 3 points, so good.
Yeah, 2-0. Obviously, it doesn't tell a tale of 13 corners you faced.
Yeah, no, this is something that we've been working on in training. Something that we feel as a team we can get better at. But to face, was it 13 and not concede and look solid and feel solid, more importantly, as a unit, and defend them corners quite well. Feel like that's a massive positive we can take out of today.
Yeah, we were talking just before then. Obviously, we sort of shipped like 10 goals in 2 games against Marine and Radcliffe. Obviously, that must have been pretty painful, basically as a defence. Has that been a good sort of like learning for you all in terms of basically just looking at where those things went wrong and how you fixed it?
Yeah, I think whether you concede goals in a game or you don't, there's always parts of the game that you can pick apart and see where you did well and what you didn't do quite so well. So we've been talking as a team and seeing what we can improve on, and and obviously improving our strengths as well. So I think them games where we've been beaten, we've learned from them, and hopefully putting them right. And I think in some of them games we've been weak in the set pieces, but obviously today if the stats are 13 and we've not conceded, we're doing something right, and it just feels a lot more comfortable in them. So.
Yeah, I mean, there was a good number of free kicks as well, and they had some couple of quite dangerous sort of like balls in, like sort of whipped in. So, in terms of learning as well, you and Curtis now, I think you've played together about 8-9 times competitively.
Yeah.
That must be great to start to get that real partnership going. It looks really natural.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like we're starting to understand each other's strengths and where each other can improve on. So I know I'm starting to get that understanding with him. But equally, when Jan plays as well, Jan's a top player, so he can fill in. And you saw him come on today, and it's good to have him back. So I think as a three, me, Jan, and Kurt, we've got something good going on, and I think it's just important we keep building and do well for the team. So. Yeah,
I mean, we look to our sort of like 100% home record. You've seen you play to the club. Does it feel like home now?
It does, especially when you're attacking that end and you hear the crowd chanting and stuff like that. It just gives it like a little edge, and when you're going down and you breathe in, it pushes you on. So it's a real nice feel to the place. All the lads, all the staff, physio, everyone has been fantastic, and it just feels like a real nice place. So.
Well, it really feels like you've settled in. A consummate performance today. Congratulations, clean sheet. Can go to bed, rest easy tonight.
That's it. Recover. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to ask. Basically, obviously, it was boiling out there. Obviously, in the stands, we were sort of perspiring. How much weight do you reckon you lost today?
Yeah, that's a good one. Probably about 10 kilos in water fluid I've lost. But now I think it's important for not just me, all the lads to recover. We've got no game until next Saturday, but we've got FA Cup, so we'll have a good week's training, rest and recover, and be at it next Saturday.
Fantastic. I'll see you next Saturday.
See you.